Hello, welcome to the class 1 part 2. Let's go and see how we can create one simple workflow. In order to create a workflow, we are going to use the transaction called SWDT. The transaction T code to create the workflow. You can use the SWDT or PFTC. These are the two transactions you are going to use when you have to create the workflow. PFTC is to create the task. From there also you can create the workflow, and SWDD is the workflow builder where you can go and explore the workflow, and it always opens in the edit mode. Okay, so let's go and you know uh, see this, the demo. So putting the user ID over here, and let me put the password. You have to put SWDD over here. Okay, this is the transaction with the help of which we can create the workflow. You'll have to click on this create button in order to create a new workflow. Okay, once you save and activate, workflow number will be automatically generated over here. This name is dependent upon the settings. The workflow configuration setting is done with the help of, one transaction called SWU3. So this is again very important. So when you are going to work with the workflow, you have to make sure that everything over here should be in green. This is the transaction for workflow configuration. This is the prerequisite. So this first part must be in green. This is the important one. All other R depends upon your, here you can see the edit prefix number. So whatever the prefix is going to get maintained, you can check it over here. Okay, this is the prefix number. So this is what the prefix will be automatically allocated when 999. Remember, when we save and activate, the workflow number will be starting with the 999. The number ranges, it's defined, the number ranges that you can also go and check RFC destination and all. See here, this again here, active send to object and HR object, edit, demonstration and verification. So these are the different settings. The first one is the very important, this edit prefix number, check number ranges. Apart from the first one, this also generally like you are supposed to do. Okay, once you do all these prerequisite, then only you will be able to go and walk into. So this is the activity performed by the basis people. You don't have to worry. Another important configuration in your system should be the organizational structure should be, created, or it should be there in your system. That is the activity done by or performed by your HR people. So you don't have to worry. The HR related table started with like the PA, 020, something like that. All the HR table starts with the PA, right? So those are the tables where you can go and check out the entry, but you don't have to do any kind of organizational setup. If you want to learn, that is a different story, but that is done by your HR colleague, SAP HR colleague. Okay, fine. So here, this is the symbol which tells you that workflow is going to get started. What we are going to do, that I'm going to send one email to the inbox of my manager to approve my purchase order. So purchase order here, I'm going to use with the help of container element. I'm not going to create any purchase order. In fact, I'm going to use one purchase order with the help of container variable. I will let you know what is the container variable. First, I will show you by hard coding, and then I will show you with the help of one variable, how you can define one variable in the workflow if you want to use. Okay. Now, here you can see that undefined, this step is undefined. I want to create one steps for this. Just double click over here. And when you double click, you can see the different options are coming. Activity, web activity, send mail, form, user decision, all this is coming. So what I want to do that, I want to perform one approval or rejection activity. Okay. So just select this user decision. So send, uh, purchase order approval request. Okay. So purchase order approval request. So purchase order number, maybe let's suppose I'm having some purchase order number, something like that, 10,000. This I'm sending to my manager to approve. Here you can see that you have the agents, like to whom you want to send. So expression also you have, like you can write the expression based upon some, some variable, or the meaning of expression, right? Based upon the expression, which is the combination of variable or constant, which you can define, and accordingly it can be determined. So that is the expression. Workflow initiator, the one who has triggered this workflow. We will see how a workflow can be triggered. Superior of workflow initiator. So that is means I think this is like, this will go to manager of the one who has initiated the workflow. Here the work center is another agent, then rule, role, job. So all these work center, rule, this rule, like with the help of function module and all, you can determine. So we are going to see in detail. See, organizational unit by created by the HR people, position, user, these are going to create by job, organization, position, and user are going to be created by the HR people. Okay. So here I want to select the user. Just select the user, and I don't have like two different user. I'm having the same user, so I'm going to use the same user. I will put that S4 H20 H14. Okay, S4 H20 H14. You can give the different user over here, and when you are going to execute the workflow, it will go to the inbox of that particular user. Okay, press enter, and here under the decision text, you can put this approve or reject. Outcome value here again, like it, I will let you know the meaning of this at this moment. Just let's put approve or reject. Justification, that means if you want, like here you keep it blank. Recommended means you are telling to the approver that put some note over there when he is approving. Okay, you can put the recommendation. If you don't want to have any notes, then you can put it blank. Here you want to make it mandatory. When he is rejecting, you want to know the reason why he has rejected the workflow. Okay, so for that purpose, basically this justification is required. Now you can click on this OK button, and you can click on this save button. You'll have to give the abbreviation. Abbreviation means the description of this particular workflow. You are tagging with some name so that it will be easy for it will be easy for you to find it out later. So here jet, maybe let's put like this workflow demo 1. workflow demo class 1. Okay. And one package we will create quickly maybe, or let's see if we have some package starting with jet. We will put it into a jet package. So give me a second. I will quickly create one package so that it will be easy. All the workflow will be together at one place. And if you are using the same system, you can go and access it out. So SC80 and go to this, click on this package, ZWF package, workflow package. Click on this yes button, workflow package by Pankaj at Saptech. Click on this, okay. And here we can maybe create one another transport for workflow training by Pankaj. Click on this and just select this one. So, why I'm using like it will be there at one place. That's the reason, nothing more than that. Just save now, give this package, click on this, okay, and now that's fine. You can see that triple line has come as a prefix, and here WS, we will see the different types of workflow, WS, what's the meaning of this, so all this we will see in more detail. Let's understand that this is your workflow number. Now this is the version, initial version is 000. You can see that this is the initial version, 000, the first version. When you are going to release your transport, the next time when you will be creating, the version 1 will be automatically over here. Just save it, check the syntax. One items of information here, like if you see that your messages will be coming, no start event or a start transaction form. So that's fine. We have not done any kind of triggering. We have to link the workflow start event with a actual event, with the actual process, like when you are going to save the PO or when you are going to perform any transaction. All right, so that's why it's giving the information message. That's fine completely, there's no problem. Click on this activate button and workflow definition saved and activated successfully. Now you can execute this workflow, you can test this workflow from here directly, okay, and click on this execute button. When you will click this button, automatically my inbox is getting open, right? So just cancel this because I want to show you the inbox. As I have given the my user, automatically it has taken to that screen. But if you would have given the user of some another colleague, or some another, person of the organization, that particular screen would have not come. He has to go SAP Business Workplace, SBWP. Just remember SAP Business Workplace, and you will be able to remember the transaction. Okay. This is the business workplace. Here you can see that the inbox, outbox, like an email, you are able to see inbox, outbox, you can create the folder, you have the different folder basically over here. If something you are deleting, it will go in the trash. Okay. Now you here you can documents means message. If someone is sending the email and all, it will be you will be able to see it over here. Under the workflow, your work item will be there. Just click on this workflow and see here, purchase order 1000 approval request. This is the one which I have, sent from there. So the decision making activity which we have defined over there, their title I have given this one. Okay. So if you don't remember, you can see that purchase order 1000 approval request, correct? So the work item, that means the instance of the task is received over here. That means you have the object of the class, means just I'm resonating, so you will be able to link what is the work item. Work item is nothing but the instance of the task, so that particular task is instantiated now, that is materialized now, and you will be able to see it over here. Double click and see, again the same screen is coming. What do you want? Do you want to reject? If you want to reject, then you will have to click on this reject button, and you have to give the proper justification, because there you have selected as a mandatory field. Means if your manager is going to reject, he has to give the proper reason over there. Maybe he can give that, PO is rejected because we have fund issue, something like that. We don't have proper fund, and that's why I'm rejecting the PO. Click on this OK button, and as soon as that is rejected, you can see that the action on the work item is completed, and now that is no more here. Okay, hope you are able to understand. Now I'm just going to uh, show you how you can check the workflow log, means what the activity and all has been performed when you have executed that workflow, where you can go and check it out. Remember the transaction SWI1, okay? SWI1 or SWIA, anything is fine. SWI1, I'm just going to put it over here. Click on this execute button, and this one is the workflow 8th July. From the date and time you can sort it out. Like if you don't remember the name of the workflow, if you remember the name of the workflow, you can directly go and put the here you can give the name of the workflow under the task, okay, and you can search it and you will be able to get it. Okay, so that's just press F8. If you see here, the both task is same. This completed, this is the sub workflow, it's telling what. So this is actually your main workflow, and here the work item you can see 28071. So whenever any workflow is going to execute, for that particular workflow also work item gets created, because workflow is itself a bigger task, right? Workflow is nothing but a collection of multiple steps, right? So task can be of two types, we have just seen. One is single step task and another is the multiple step task. So our workflow is nothing but a task. That's why you have seen that I'm putting the filter, the workflow number I'm giving under the task. Okay, so here I want to see the log of my workflow and I want to analyze it. Okay, see here, this is your main workflow. Okay, and the second, the one which is showing over here, the dialog steps. Why? Because we have taken the action approve or reject. That one pop-up came up, right? Because that pop-up came up, that means the dialog action we require to take. That means on the screen we have to take some action, correct? So that is known as the dialog step, because all the screen related activities which you are able to see and you are going to get interact, that is handled by the dialog work process, as we know in our above session, right? And that's why it is known as the dialog step, means you are going to interact. So approve or reject kind of activity comes under the dialog step, where your intervention is required, where the manual intervention is required. So these both task is related with the with our workflow. Okay, and it has been triggered at the same time, almost you can see that at the same time it has been triggered. There was no delayed, so fast, right? I want to see the log now. Click on this button and click on this, and then click on this log and click on this, or simply you can put the control P. So like that your screen will come, and from here you can monitor your log. So this is your main workflow 28071 workflow demo class 1, the main workflow. Always you will be able to see the main workflow work item over here. Okay, I want to see in more detail over here. Sub workflow started, work item processing complete, right? All these three information you are able to see with the date and time detail. If some agent will be there, here you will be able to see. In the second step, you can see the agent is showing. Why? Because this was a dialogue step, and in order to take the action on the dialogue step, know, uh, agent is required. That means some manual intervention is required. So this is what you have. This photo, you can see that this figure, and you will be also able to see that your manager means the person who has taken the action on that, their name. So if you see your request, approval request, the outcome was reject. And if you click on this, you will be able to see this. All users can process this task, that's fine. And actually I want to show you, yeah, dialog work item executed, right? Dialog work item executed. I want to show you that agent who has executed. Okay, so I think this is the agent information, because I'm the same person who is taking the action on the work item. That's why it's not making clear, but here somewhere the agent information comes. You can go and check it out in your real-time scenario. What you can do that you can create one workflow, and under the agent section, you give the user ID of your colleague. Okay, and then you will be able to see. So hope you got how to check the log. You will have to go to the SWI1 or SWI8 transaction. You will have to explore your workflow. Click on this log, right? Click on this button, go to log, print, all P, like that. Another place, let me go from beginning. Here also, here also it's a very good place to analyze the workflow and its container and all this detail. Go to the chronological view, and here work flow demo class 1 and the purchase order 1000 approval. From here also you can see here details. The main workflow number is this one. Actual agent, see here the actual agent who has taken the action, like who has executed the that particular main workflow, who has executed. I have executed, right? Here also, see here actual agent. The second here it's very much clear, right? If the previous one was not clear, here you can see that actual agent, the one who has taken the action on the work item, right? For the second step, I have approved. It's coming here. A step history, here also you can see that a step history for this particular step. What was the history, how work item. So this is again like chronological view is very good tool, with the help of which deadlines and all we will see it later classes. Messages, if some message will be there, some important message that you will be able to see. And the container, again container is the important concept, like container you should know. Let's go and quickly create one container value, and then you will be able to understand how we can create a variable in the workflow for that purpose. Okay, but before creating the container, when the rejection is there, I want to send one email that your purchase order is rejected, something like that. So what you can do, you can double click over here, not double click, right click over here, and I think we are not here in the change mode. Just go into the change mode. Object requested is currently locked by this person. Okay, already I have opened somewhere. So let me close all this unnecessary session. Okay, and click on this OK button, and here we have this workflow. What I want to do after rejection, I want to send the email. So if you double click, okay, after double clicking, it's not coming. Just right click over here and click on this create. And send mail option you can select. Click on this OK button, and here you can write your work. Your purchase order is rejected. No, so you can put this, and again, who is going to receive this, right? Who is going to receive? The one who has initiate this workflow. I have initiated, okay, because here I don't have much user and all. That's why I'm going to use the same. So workflow initiator means that the same user we are going to get it over here. Okay. So like from here itself, you are going to choose the workflow initiator. You don't have to do anything. Automatically, it will be you. Okay. But if you want to choose the user explicitly, that means the different user, you have to come and select it over here, user, and you have to give the name of the user over here. Let it be like this only. Okay. I'm going to use this workflow initiator. Just click on this OK button, and the check product 000 warning, one error. Some error is there. Enter a mail text. It's telling here you have to give the something in the body, right? And regards workflow admin, something like that. I'm just putting, and click on this OK button. Just save this one, check the syntax, click on this activate button, and now you can see that it got saved and activated successfully. So after rejection, you can send the email like this. Click on this execute button, and click on this execute it once again. You can see that it's directly going into the SBWP, SAP Business Workplace. And I'm going to click on this reject, and you will be able to see that the email will be received. Okay, so region I have to give workflow rejected, where you can see this text under the work item. You will be able to see. I will show you that part, but you know you can see that that action is taken. And now if you go to SAP Business Workplace transaction, then you can go to the inbox and documents, where email you will be able to see your PO is rejected. You can see your PO is rejected. Okay, this is how you can get the email. So this is one thing. Another thing, container. One small example for container, and from next class onwards, there are so many things in this workflow. We are going to, in our syllabus, in our content, we have put it up only those which is mostly, generally, very frequently required. If you know this one, you don't have to worry. Okay, you will be able to develop from scratch to advanced workflow. Fine, let's go and quickly create one container. So for that purpose, you have to come here, click on this workflow container. Container is nothing but the variable, that means work area, internal table, or a simple variable. That means any kind of data object. Double click over here in order to create the container. Here I want to give the name of purchase order. Element name is purchase order. Name also you give this purchase order. Some description if you want. So name of my variable is purchase order. Okay, so some description you can give. See, for this purchase order, purchase underscore order variable, what should be the type? Do you want to make it as a business object type, or do you want to create one, means you want to make it as a class reference, right? So here, this object type, if you want to give the dictionary reference, that means a C11 reference. If you want to give reference of some field or some structure so that it will be created as a work area, you can use this option. I have to create one purchase order, and for this EBELN, is equal to is my data element. I'm just giving this data element over here. And now if you see that my purchase order container element is created, just save this one, check the syntax and click on this activate button. Again, it got created. Now, where you can see the container value, what was supplied into this container. Okay. So what I want to do that in my task, I want to get the value from this purchase order. So for this purpose, just double click over here. You have to go to this properties and select this import parameter and export parameter, so that, you know, and if you want to make that import parameter mandatory, you can put it mandatory. Click on this save button once again, click on this save, so that, you know, I can exchange the value of the container with the task. Okay. So here, whatever container value I will be putting it, the same value I want it over here. I want to make it dynamic, this purchase order. Okay. So the parameter over here, here you can give like, you know, the ampersand of 1 as you give in the message in the app, right? SC91, right? In the same way, ampersand 1, ampersand 2, ampersand 3, like that you can give. So ampersand 1, see here, different parameter, 4 parameter you can define. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ampersand 1, ampersand 2, ampersand 3, ampersand 4. And respectively, the value will be sitting over here dynamically. Hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to tell it over here. Now, the value of purchase order, we can pass it over here from the container. Whatever the value in the container you are going to pass it, you can put it over here. You can see the different options you are having, details, control, outcomes. In the coming classes we'll be discussing. Let's understand step by step, so that you will be having the good understanding of workflow. Just activate this one and click on this execute button. See here, purchase order value, I want to give it maybe, you know, uh, some dynamic value like that I have given it. Okay, that container value I have given. Now click on this execute button. You will see that, see here, purchase order this approval request. Now it's coming. Click on this approve. On approval, there will nothing happen. It will not trigger any email. But in case of rejection, you would have triggered an email, because at rejection, we have defined this particular step, right? So hope you got. And once more, I'm just going to execute this one. This time I'll give some another value over here, 987654321. Okay, and click on this execute button. See here, I'm going to reject this. Rejected. Not, this is not right. This is not right time to raise PO. Your line manager is telling. Okay, and rejecting. Got it executed. If you want to see the workflow log from here also you can do, or you can go to SWI1 transaction. Here see work item ID is there, right? So if you have any work item ID, with the help of that you can go and, you know, analyze the workflow log. So your functional, if they are telling that he is getting some problem in the workflow, you just ask to him that give me the work item, because he will be able to give you the work item. Workflow, might not be able to give you workflow this number, but work item he will be certainly able to give you. With the help of work item, you'll have to go to SWI1 transaction and give this one over here and execute this, and come here, click on this button, and you can go and analyze the workflow. Okay, so chronological view, remember, and here workflow purchase order approval request, your PO is rejected. See here, right? And again, like that green kind of a screen, if you want to commit, because, you know, the functional people feel more comfortable over here, or some, it depends the person to person, you know, some people feel very comfortable over here. Chronological, some people I have seen that they feel very comfortable over here. So it depends on where you feel comfortable, use that. Okay, and here you can see that your PO is rejected, mail sent, all these things, right? TRFC also one got created. This TRFC entries, if you want to see, you can go and check it out in SM58. That we will see in another class. Now let's stop it over here. Thank you for attending this session. We will meet in the next class.